Falcon Punch!
I think everyone agrees that ARMS was one of those games that Nintendo showed off during the Switch presentation that looked okay. It looked like it had a lot of promise, but it wasn't one that a lot of people were going to spend full game price for. I mean, that shit's going to be $80 in Canada. So what are you going to do about that, Nintendo? And then they had a Nintendo Direct just today or yesterday. I guess it just depends on when I put this out. That made ARMS look pretty good. There's a lot of good stuff here. And let's go over it, why don't we? So it's weird because they start off with like a story to ARMS, like a history of like people were normal humans and then they had stretchy arms sometimes. And it's weird because the game seems like they plan some sort of actual history or story or things for the characters. I mean, every character that they announced or showed off, they were like, you know, Ribbon Girl is a singer, and then, you know, they all have actual stories. But I still have a feeling this game is going to have a really kind of shitty single-player mode. We'll get into that in a second. So they showed off some of the older characters. They also showed that all arms have weights and attributes, and of course, then there's obviously the type of arm that is as well. There's 3 weights, you know. The harder or the heavier the weight of your arm is, the slower it goes, but it can actually block other arms. So I actually really like the idea that it's not just, oh, it's bigger, so it's slower and faster, which it of course is, but it's also like a defensive measure, and I like the idea of that, especially because you can mix and match. Like your left arm could totally be a super heavyweight arm, and the right one could be like a faster arm. So they showed off a lot of ideas for loadouts and techniques for characters. And I think it's going to add a lot of strategy to the game. So I think the people that take this like super seriously and like super competitively are going to have a ball with that. Each arm also has 1 of 7 attributes, which is cool. And they have the basic ones like fire and ice and lightning. And there's like blind, which is kind of a cool idea. So there's a lot to take in there. There's probably going to be a lot of different arms. And each character seems to have 3 like signature arms. Now, without like going through and looking through at all the footage carefully to make sure, I'm wondering if anyone can equip anything, and for some reason maybe just the signature weapons are just like the defaults for these characters and you have to unlock other ones instead. So whatever, but still, like, just that alone, and with the amount of arms they showed off, like the dragon laser style arms, and you have like the salamander type whip arms, and just the regular kind of punchy arms. There's homing missiles. There's like boomerangs. That's really cool. And then add that with the 7 attributes, and there's quite a lot to choose from. So I really like that. They showed off a few of the modes. They kind of did this weird, by the way. They showed off some characters, did some modes, showed some characters, showed some modes. So I'm jumping back and forth. Sorry, I'm kind of going in kind of the way they showed it off. So they showed off some multiplayer modes, and there's the regular fight, of course, which is the basic one-on-one fight. I do like how there's items. I think it's weird they didn't go into the specifics of the items, but there's healing items and there's other such things, but I like that. And I'm assuming you'll be able to turn each individual item on and off, similar to Smash Brothers. And if you can't, then that's stupid, because let's be honest, with Smash Brothers being Nintendo's main fighting series, if you're going to invent a new fighting series that also has items and stuff, you kind of have to go to the length that you did with Smash Brothers in the sense of customizability. So you should be able to turn off everything, turn on everything, turn on like higher frequency or a lower frequency of items, and you should be able to turn on or off individual items. So hopefully. There's also 2-on-2 battles, which I think is a good idea. I think everyone saw this one coming from a mile away, that there would be something along those lines. But what I didn't know is they're tethered together. Your teammate and you are tethered together. So if if like you get knocked back like really far, your teammate's gonna get knocked back too. I really like that. It actually reminds me a little bit of Knuckles Chaotix for the 32X, which was a terrible game. I hope ARMS is better than that. I also like how you can hit your own allies. It's very reminiscent of the old beat-em-ups of my day, like Battletoads and stuff, where you kick the shit out of your friend. I like how Nintendo always does that with their multiplayer. They're like, yeah, you can totally be co-op, and you could totally be a dick, and that's Nintendo's multiplayer in a nutshell. You can be a dick if you want to. Showed off volleyball, or V-ball as they call it in this, which just reminds me of Super Spike V-ball for the NES, man. I want that now. V-ball looks pretty cool. It's basically hot potato / volleyball. The volleyball explodes. It's a good idea. It's cute. Hoops looks fun. slam dunk your enemies or like just smack them for a 3-pointer. That's cool. And basically what you get down to is just a regular fight, but it's all about positioning. And I think that's actually really, really cool. Skill shot, it's like a target attack kind of thing. Another one that if you were to be like, Phil, name a mini game that would be in ARMS, that's like the first thing I would have thought of. It looks okay. And then the 1 versus 100, which isn't multiplayer, it's a single player thing, and you just kind of, it's like the 100-man thing from Melee. Or not from Melee specifically, but for Smash Brothers, where you fight 100 guys and they take like 1 hit. It's cute. Probably one of those modes I'll do once to unlock something and I'll never test again. Then they showed a couple other things for one-player mode, which is the ARMS test, which is like a training thing. ARMS test is cool because it'll randomize what arms you can get. And you kind of practice with them. Training looks like not only will it be actual training where you can like, you know, just practice and stuff, but it almost looks like it's a bit of a mission mode, kind of like the event modes from Smash Brothers, and I really like the mission mode. It's sad that this kind of makes it look like that's going to be the main single-player mode, and once you do all the missions, there's not really much else. We'll go into other modes later when they announce it. They'll announce it a little bit later. They also showed that you can get prize money, which have the little A symbol, which is kind of cool. It stands for ARMS, which makes sense. And you use that money to not necessarily buy new arms and stuff, but you can get you can go into the arm getter and play a little kind of mini game gambling sort of thing to get arms, and you don't really have control of what you're going to get, but and you can get duplicates, but duplicate arms increase your power, which is kind of a cool idea. And I know I pretty much am like comparing this to Smash like crazy, but that's similar to Smash, like the way you use coins in Brawl to kind of get trophies and stuff, and in Melee it's the little gumball machine thing. So you know, that's kind of cool. I like that. It's better than just straight up a store. But if you're starting a new save file on like a new Switch and you're like, I need this specific loadout, it takes you forever to be able to get it. You're like, shit. They showed off a new character, a couple new characters actually. Actually, I skipped the part where they showed off the first new character, and that's Kid Cobra. He's like a streamer. He's different, I guess. I'm not going to go over the characters that they've already shown off a bunch of times. If you want to see those guys, look at other trailers. But Kid Cobra looks okay. The other new character they showed off was Bite and Bark, and I think they're adorable. I love this character, and this might be my main. I love dogs. I think dogs are awesome. So that's just great. I really think Bite and Bark would be really, really cool. And they also showed off a new character. A new character, Twintelle. I think the internet is going to have a good time with this one. Twintelle looks fine. Good idea with the hair. I never would have thought of that. I'm not imaginative at all. So, 10 full playable characters in total, which is fairly good at launch anyways. We'll get more into that in a second. After this, they showed off a few more battle modes. Grand Prix, which is, they call it Grand Prix, but let's be honest, it's the single-player arcade mode. You fight the other 9 characters and then the boss character, which they sort of teased and then they showed off at the very end for like a split second. This is basically the regular arcade mode, and I'm sort of disappointed in that, because, I mean, not that there's going to be an arcade style mode, every fighting game has one, but this looks like it's going to be that, and the training are going to be the main single player modes, and I doubt there's going to be a story in this arcade mode, and I'm almost going to go to the extreme and say I don't even think that each character is going to get their own ending, the way that they do like in traditional fighting games like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and Injustice. I think it's going to be one of those like more like Mario Tennis, where you have a little animation of like, you did it, Ribbon Girl, woo, and that'll be about it, and you'll unlock some things and get some money. But this looks like it's going to be the main single player thing. For the online stuff, they showed off quite a bit actually. I love the online lobby. One of the lobbies you can do is that there's 10 Switch systems in a single lobby, and 2 players per system for 20 people, and it mixes and matches different characters. I really like that. The idea for party match is really cute. It's a really good idea, and probably a good idea to be able to make some money a little bit. Of course, there's ranked match online, which you know, every fighting game has. If this didn't, then that'd be some serious problems right there. Local multiplayer, you can do local wireless with multiple switches. You can do 8 players locally, which is a cool idea. You can do the party match stuff. It's a cute idea. I like it a lot, and I can see that being a lot of fun with 8 people. Kind of like putting people together and just be like, all right, you guys are gonna do this, and these guys are gonna do this, and then switching it up every so often. And that was pretty much the entire thing. They didn't show off much else other than the fact that there will be free updates. So That's great. It looks like they're going the way of Splatoon, where there's not going to be, probably anyways, any paid DLC. There will be free updates, there will be free fighters, free stages, and free arms, and I love that. It means that hopefully the game, like Splatoon, will continue on for a while, and it's a great idea to do it, like, because, let's be honest, the last fighting game that Nintendo made, and I know Nintendo didn't technically make it, it was Namco, but Pokken was not great. It had a bunch of updates in Japan, arcade only, that never came out here, and the single player on that was garbage. That was such a fun game at first, but very shallow at the end, and that's what I'm afraid of with ARMS. ARMS looks super fun. It looks super, super fun. It looks fun, but I don't think it's worth the amount of money it will be at launch, and that's what worries me. I'll probably end up picking it up if it ever goes down a little bit, or maybe I'll find it used, which sucks because that means Nintendo doesn't get any of the money. But I don't feel comfortable buying this for $80 Canadian. I just straight up don't. It's just, with so many fighting games coming out, Injustice 2 just came out, the new Tekken's coming out, and there's even a new Guilty Gear, so ARMS really needs to be worth it to buy. That being said, it still looks a lot of fun. There is a demo coming out from May 26th to June 4th. That is awesome. Definitely worth trying out. So, hey, if you guys are watching this and you have a Switch, go try it out. Like, absolutely, that's the best thing Nintendo could do is do what they did with Splatoon and show off like the global test fire thing, as they're calling it. What was it, global test punch here. And that was it for ARMS, but they did show off Splatoon 2, which makes sense. I mean, Splatoon 2 is pretty hyped right now, and Splatoon 1 did so well. But I like how Splatoon 2's trailer here focused on the single player mode, which interests me a lot more than multiplayer modes, I'll be honest, in most games, and it certainly does in Splatoon. I never played Splatoon, but I heard that there was a fairly decent single player mode, but it wasn't super great, so I do have it, I just haven't gotten around to playing it. Splatoon 2's single player mode looks like a lot of fun. There's some fun bosses and fun characters and fun situations, and I think it looks super good. So I'll definitely probably get into that a little bit. But anyways, what do you guys think of ARMS? Did you guys actually watch the direct, or did you just watch my dumb review of it? But tell me what you thought of ARMS. Who's your favorite ARMS character? You know, what do you think about Splatoon 2? Tell me what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time for more stuff. Hit the like button if you liked what you saw. Comment down there, and subscribe for more crap from me. I'm Phil, and I'll see you guys later.